Hi guys, Tempest here. This time we have a continuation of our previous video where we beat Ray Saber in top 4 of this Wolfbark Open 18 back in March of 2025. This was my first time playing Hieratic Ruler in a tournament, so our plays may not be optimized once again. This was a 23-player tournament with a top 8 top cut and very stacked attendee roster. We made Swiss with a 5-1 score, and now we're playing against Dark Worlds in the final. I dare to say this is Ley's least pet deck, and he really knows how to make as much as possible with given hands. We already lost our only final before against Ley and his Dark World, so we'll try not to do the same this time. Let's get to the game. Okay, we get to start, which is of course good for us because we won't get hit with something like Eradicate or Epidemic Virus right off the bat, but Grapha also can be easily established and it runs over most of our stuff, so we'll see what we can actually present. Yeah, in this tournament we played against Dragons, Spellbook, Fire King, Mermail, then Mermail again, Six Samurai, then Dragons again, Mermail again, as we saw in our previous feature match, and now Dark World. So really strong decks from really strong opponents. Here we don't put much thought into making something like Stardust Spark Dragon by going basically -3. Banishing both Asset and Maxi, but we just use Card of Consonance, who gets us 2 new cards. And yeah, with Tefnuit and Asset, we'll do something next turn, so we just set Torrential for now. Ley's hand is looking very promising, actually, but it still depends a lot on what Drag Down will get him. So, back in Dragons, this card only for them to draw the same number of cards is really not optimal because this card in Dragon Rulers is basically just -1. That's why Lee probably drew 2 Drag Downs and not Dark World Dealings. He'll just set everything and gets to see all or 5 cards. And he'll do his best play around what we have left. We decide not to max yet. We haven't seen enough. It could be easily a -1. He chooses the hardest card to play around is Wingbit, although he does have Compulsory, so that plays around a Wingbit by itself. Might be an error on his behalf, since if he just discards the Fnuit, we'd have to normal summon Asset, and then when he hit Compulse, we'd just go -1 and also lose, not -1, but 1 for 1, sorry, and would also lose our normal summon for the turn. We draw Labradorit, and it really isn't looking good for us at this point. Snow will go for Snow for Lee. He interested in this. He decides to use Upstart immediately and draws Grapha. That's a interesting line of play. Now he'll have to clear our back row before he does any further digging into his deck, probably. We don't play in any main deck MST, so our back row is an easy target for Grapha. He doesn't want to draw another one, so he'll now use Foolish before using this second drag down. And should we now? Yeah, now probably would be a good time to use Maxi because he'll most likely give us a summon, so a 1 for 1. We also don't know that these are actual back row. We could think these are just draw spells. This time he does discard Orth of Nuit. And we draw red DMD. Snow gets beige for later. For next turn, rank 8 place. Another upstart. And yeah, now he won't use Dark World Dealings most likely, because those two are actually quite good to stop anything. So yeah, that Maxi went -1, although it did prevent Ley from summoning Grapha. Okay, Blaster for turn. Yeah, we won't be actually able to make much against Mirror Force and Compulse. We could wait for next turn draws to make more sensible plays. But let's see. We are actually, yeah, we're going for Atom plays. By summoning Redox, who is the most, yeah, we're least concerned about him. So we banish him immediately for MDMD and he gets compulsed. Yeah, Ley just chooses he won't tolerate any of our shit and just bounces it immediately. We could summon him once again, but yeah, there is really no sense in doing that this turn. Graphas will also have 3k attack and will mostly lose or both of our guys. There really isn't much we can top deck here. His Ley's top deck was, sorry, Ley's opening was really powerful. He does decide to make his rank 8 play here rather than dig deeper with the Bro. So he starts, Besh gets summoned, Grapha comes now next. Of this Trans Archfiend, yeah, that's just game actually. So Archfiend will discard Beige once again. Beige will get bounced for second Grapha. And now D-Links will summon Beige once more, which is more than 10,000 damage. Outstanding. Oof, yeah, off to game 2 we go. Surely we'll draw something better this game. Yeah, maybe that Maxi was a misplay to discard it as soon as we did, but it's against Dark World. It's really hard. It's really hard because a lot of the summons are inherent. Okay, so off to game 2 we go. Consonance first. We discard Guard and get Korseska and Su. Yeah, let's make Atom here. It's I would here make Atom, summon a Dragon Ruler, banish it for Ready MD, and revive Su. And then you have basically 3 really strong threats. Su, which can pop back row, Ready MD, which can revive stuff for Su or for XYZ or Sync Replace, and Atom, who can summon whatever from the deck. Yeah, if Su and Atom survive, Su will be able to tribute another monster, and if Red MD survives, we'll get another Atom. So let's see how Ley will handle with this board. We get Tempest to get to Debris rather than banishing Blaster already. I agree with that line of play. And as for Ley's hand, this is, yeah, for now, yeah, a pale comparison of what he had in game 1 this game. He can't really get his deck going with this. His only relevant detach immediately rank 3 is Leviathan, and even then Berge wouldn't do anything next to it if he were to use gates. So all Malefic Stardust plus Leviathan or Acid Golem could clear 2 of our guys. And that is probably the correct play to do here, because these really are some potent threats. We'll see what Ley goes for. So he'll summon Malefic first. and only it clears out Atom. Yeah, Acid Golem is always risky, but I think he should have went for it for sure. Leaving Ready MD along with Su is really not good, and at least with and for the most part with two back row. So yeah, this Acid Golem would be better, and with 8,000 life points as well. Redox gets drawn for turn, Asset gets summoned by Ready MD, so we'll pop one back row. So Royal Decree will be able to get chained to the second one. So he uses Dark Smoke here. And we just decide to use Royal Decree. He can't use Torrential or anything. He provides no response to our decree, so this actually means we won. We'll make Atom for Blaster. We'll be able to make here I'll rank I'll Synchro level 8 plus MadHATer with Debris. Yeah, since he doesn't scoop, we decide to make Scrap. Actually, we should make Scrap Dragon and at least try to reveal his last back row to gain some information on what he plays and sides. But we make Stardust Dragon rather than anything else, in case he does have something like Swift Scarecrow. Yeah, we also summon all the big guys. We could summon Blaster as well. That is 11,000 points of damage. Yeah, if you know your opponent isn't playing some bizarre choices such as Swift Scarecrow, you should make Scrap Dragon and at least try to reveal his back row. That's game 2. Ley will now start and we'll see how far he can go through with his hand, through our Crow. 2 gates with true drag down is really unfortunate, and the best option here is actually just to pass with Horn set, yes. Okay, we actually have something, and with Crow in hand, we'll make Atom. Going against 6 of Ley's cards is scary, but at least we didn't see any of his Dark Holes, so we'll just make Atom and present a similar board as before. Also, we MST here because he really does have a lot of reactive back row, such as Horn, as we see, Bottomless Compulse, Warning. Yeah, it's best to just MST. Convocation gets Asset, so summoned over Asset. Atom will get Ready MD, and we'll get to Su for next turn, so almost an identical scenario as the turn before, but this time Ready MD is at 0 attack and defense. We decide to make a bigger push to put him on lower health, so we make Gaia. I think that is not the correct play. I mean, making Gaia Charger has its benefits, one of them being that Leviathan, Dragon, and Malefic Stardust don't clear him. But yes, today I for sure wouldn't summon him. Because as we said before, leaving 3 great threats, even this time with a live Su immediately, is of course better than just this Ready MD with 0 attack and defense. Allure for Ley. We'll see what it gets him. Okay, this will remove Berge out of the equation. Okay, he can either set 3 back row hopes we will activate Su in fear of something like Mirror Force, which we probably would, and not hit exactly Torrential Tribute, then use it on the summon. Or he could go -1, activating second gates over the first one. He does exactly that and gets his deck going. Now he'll use one drag down. He will probably get rid of our crow now and leave dragons for later. He gets Grapha, Snow gets another Snow. Second drag down now, because that's he denies our draw spell, and with this we discard probably Snow here. Not that it matters. Yeah, as he said. We luckily top deck a second crow. And his second Snow gets third Snow. Next he discards Grapha with gates, which pops Su. He summons Snow, and now it will be a good time to use Crow on the summon. He could use Torrential in chain, but will most likely summon something, so Torrential will be... It's better to keep it. Yeah, and he drew Dark Smog, which is not the best, but it isn't bad still. And also Grapha cleared Su rather than something else. Something else, because even if he top decked Crow, at least so Snow would still destroy Ready MD as it did. Okay. Upstart will give Ley more life points to survive. But we get to another consonance. With consonance we get to Sarcophagus and Wingbit. With both of which we cannot do much. Actually, just attacking here and then summoning Tefnuit is too weird. Yeah, exactly as we said. Had we not summoned Gaia before, now we could summon Su or another Dragon Ruler with Atom, which would make Ley think for his Torrential, or he would leave us with Su, who would pop back row. So yeah, making Gaia was really weird before. We'll just have to attack and do comeback plays with Tefnuit and Wingbit later. Sarcophagus in Mephisto for Tempest, who gets us Debris. If Gaia dies, we can make Wingbit live by summoning also Labradorit with Debris. We'll see. In end phase, Ley decides not to use Dark Smoke because it's basically the same if he uses it only in his turn. Yeah, now Ley will draw 2 cards from his field spell and Brawl interaction. Okay, no monsters, which means that this Dark Smoke is dead at this time. Tour Guide goes for another one, and he summons Zen Mains rather than Acid Golem. With only 2 turns, Acid Golem is very risky to summon him, and of course, Zen Mains is the better choice here. Also, it works well with Torrential. We of course draw Mexi 1 turn later, classic. With this hand, we actually don't want to lose our Gaia yet, so we put him to defense. That's correct. Because it's our last line of defense, we'll see what we can do when we get to add Tempest or hand. Upstart for Ley. Another gates, which is unusable here, and he'll have to pass. Now we finally get to add Tempest along with Drone Asset. We could wait one more turn to get to 7 cards in hand, but actually going off now is good. So we summon Asset and Wingbeat. Yeah, nothing gets activated on the summon. That will be very harsh for Ley, almost game deciding. Yeah, Wingbeat does its thing, and now we're ready to end this match next round, next turn. Surely he won't have to additional back row to set. Actually, in retrospective, Leaf should for sure use Torrential here. If we still try to use something, he could use Bottomless as well. With another Tefnuit and second Wingbeat, for example. I mean, sorry, if he would Torrential on the summon, then we would summon Tefnuit, he would just Bottomless it, and he would still be left with Smog and Field Spell. Now we want this Gaia to get removed, so we put it to attack. Also, then if he would use Torrential, even if we did nothing, Zenman was just pop probably a field spell all itself. He sets 2. Compulse is very good for Ley here, but it won't be enough against 6 of our cards. He's also set Dark Word Dealings as bluff. So another useless Tefnut for us. We'll most likely make level 8 synchro, such as Stardust Dragon here, to negate Mirror Force and Zenmains. Flame Veil comes or gets revived. We summon Tempest, make Stardust, as we said. We attack firstly with Stardust, so even if he has something like Compulse, he'll either have Zenmains in with both materials or with none. We'll see if he uses Compulse. He does, and that means we won't attack anymore. Upstart gives Ley access to Grapha for later top decks. He decides to reveal his 3rd field spell. And discards Grapha, pops Gaia, Tour Guide for Maxi. Yeah, this Maxi really did came in clutch. Actually, now we're happy we top decked it a turn later. This Tour Guide was really good, but yeah, Maxi really checks it. He could make Levier and Grapha, but that would lose him the game with 8 cards in our hand. We'll see how many he'll give us. Just 6. I mean, we'll start with 6 cards in our hand. Yeah, actually, with Dealings set, this is probably the correct play from Ley, as now he'll get to draw 2 more cards. We'll discard Dragon Ruler. And Eradicator for turn, for another draw. Yeah, this is not good actually, because he's trying to survive here. This Hieratic Onslaught, and we already have 2 Dragon Rulers in graveyard. Zenmains actually stays in defense and he clears all our debris. Okay, this is looking like a very brutal OTK hand here. And Ley doesn't use Eradicator in standby phase. We don't actually even need to play around Mind Crush here because he has no cards in hand. So Tefnuit, Convocation for Su over Tefnuit, probably Flameville Guard to Telegraph Black Rose. If it clears the board apart from Zenmains, we'll make the same play again with second Tefnuit and second Su. And yeah, Ley just decides he saw enough and admits defeat. So yeah, Hieratic Dragon Rulers proved themselves on their first tournament, and I really like their OTK potential, even in a format where when basically every deck plays 7+ trap cards. Ley provides some insight on what his misplays were, and I'll take his word for it since he's the pro on Dark Worlds. Yeah, I commented I sided out all my traps and we both reveal our decks. Very friendly but intense game. With this we won our third Wolfbark Open. This really was a very hard tournament as discussed in our post-game commentary game here. So thanks for watching and enjoy. Bye.